Hi, how are you? I hope you all are doing great. So, I wanted to talk to you just a little bit today. How are your children really feeling? How are they really feeling now that we're, a good part of the way through this school year? And things are looking different, right? For some of your kids, maybe they're home and receiving their assignments and doing the home education piece of it, and maybe they're feeling alone by doing that online um, piece, and maybe they're excited to be back in school and getting that face-to-face learning, but they're concerned about their safety, like with the virus, right? But what about those who are on hybrid schedules, keeping up with their assignments and their schedule of when they're to be at school and when they're to be at home? That can be confusing as well. And are your kids picking up on your emotions of being home with your kids and helping with their schoolwork and figuring out their schedule and running the house and maybe the internet bandwidth, making sure that that's working so that they can do their assignments and Zoom calls and much more? And what about the gaming that happens? And you're kind of wondering, is that you get frustrated because maybe they're not doing their assignments, they'd rather be going to do gaming, right? So are you about to pull out your hair, or do you have this well-oiled system at home and everything's working just fine, which is great if it is. Hi, I'm Jean Harville, and I am the founder of Raising Kids Who Love to Read, and I'm also the creator of the Rethink Learning Academy. So I just wanted to just come on and just talk a little bit about what really is going on. So like our children are picking up on our emotions as well, right? And that you are dealing with all of this stuff that's going on. They're also dealing with their own emotions. And of course, at the center of all of this activity of change in routine and increase in frustration, the fear of the unknown and anger and even anxiety is our brain, right? So our subconscious brain, which is on duty 90% of the time of the waking hours, is on overdrive and processing our emotions as feeling safe, loved, and valued. Okay, and another thing is one of two things can happen. Our child remains calm with the belief that they love challenges and that they'll figure it out, and they know that through their identity that they love learning new things. And that's great. Or our child becomes anxious and agitated because they don't know what to do. And so their first reaction is that fight, flight, or fear, and they end up, throwing down their pencils, throwing their papers, throwing their books, just screaming because they just can't figure it out. And what's happened is their subconscious brain takes over, and they want to. It kind of goes on lockdown. They want to keep your child safe. The brain is recognizing that your child is upset. And they say, oh, no, let's not be upset, child. Let's just keep you safe. And let's just turn everything down a notch. And so your child is, the primitive brain has taken over. And what that is the amygdala. And that goes into that fight and that flight and freeze mode. And it's like it detects danger, right? And so we lose all sense of logical control to help ourselves to move forward. Okay, so I don't understand this. So what's the next step? What is it I need to do in order to get me into understanding what this next thing is? Well, the brain has already, they can't understand. The logical brain is not available right now. They're going through this fight, flight, or freeze mode. And so they have to be able to calm down from that before they can go back into the logical brain. So you may have a child who is screaming while they're throwing books and throwing their pencils and yelling they're dumb and they're stupid. Or the child is running away to their bedroom to go play on the gaming device, right? So they're escaping, they're running away, and the other one is fighting. And so you as the mom is like, what just happened? I have no idea. This is crazy town. But you know that you can't go in and speak to your kids right yet because they're not in the rational thinking mind, and they need to just calm down. Everything just needs to kind of calm down, right? Even yourself, because you have found yourself heightened up, and perhaps you were trying to get them to, not recognizing what was going on and just screaming and yelling at them to get their work done or whatever. And so you have also gone into this state of anxiety as well, because you're thinking, oh my goodness, they need to have this work done by a certain amount of time, it has to be turned in or else. So let calm prevail. Just let it chill out. Let it chill out for just a little bit. Take those deep breaths. Go for a quick walk if you can, around your house maybe. You realize that the brain is merely keeping your kids safe, keeping your children safe and familiar. So now that if you understand really what's going on in their brain, it actually isn't your child's fault. It's the brain that's reacting to keep the child safe and familiar. So when that understanding is, and by the way, when you listen to my live on Thursday, I'm going to go into what that means. I'm going to be more detailed about what goes on in the brain and how you can work through the process and come out the other end really fully understanding and having your child have a buy-in as to what's going on inside of his brain, so that the comment says, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, can go away. We can rewire that, and to the point where it's like, my brain is not my brain is not cooperating with me right now, and they can come to the realization it's their brain that they need to work on, and they can take a look at their brain outside of their body, so they're not inflicting those comments onto themselves as their identity, but also just say, okay, this is what my brain is doing. This is what I need to do to calm that down. So one has a better understanding of how things are going, or how things are working, right? So you go to each child and you can open that dialogue and acknowledging their feelings, that, and have that conversation about like what just happened. Have the conversation about it's all in the brain. The brain is keeping you safe. And when you understand what's happening within that brain, you can change your child's perspective, that it's the brain that that's doing this. It's causing me to, get angry and to run away, to flee, and what exactly is going on. So, not placing the blame directly on them as being bad kids, right? Or bad children. We never want to think that. We never want them to think that at all. So stay tuned again. Like for Thursday, I'm going to go through a little bit more about what's going on with the brain when it detects danger, right? Because it has to do with our primitive part of our brain, the amygdala, and that amygdala was placed there to keep us safe from, like caveman, safe from tigers and danger. And so that is still a part of our evolution in our brain. And so what do we do with that, right? How are we going to deal with that primitive part of the brain that causes you to automatically go into a fight or flight or freeze mode, and so you can't move forward into whatever it is that you are working on, whether it's an assignment that's really difficult and your child just can't do it, or a friendship that happens, or just whatever. There's so many different variations where this can come about, and so we're going to talk a little bit more about some of these different ways that we can talk to our brain, how we can calm it down and really fully understand what's going on, so that our children don't take on the identity of feeling dumb or stupid or they can't do something, because we really want their identity to be, I can control, I'm in control, I understand what's going on, and I can learn new things. That would be a much better identity for them to be able to work from. So I really appreciate you tuning into my lives. And if you have a desire to look further into how you can, be the boss of your brain, and you connect with me through the link that I'm going to pop down below, and we can have like a 15-minute Zoom chat. So I'll look forward to speaking with you, and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. All right, bye-bye.